Testing 1 2. All right, we're back in Blender. So I haven't used Blender in like this whole week, basically since the last time I streamed Blender. So I do feel kind of rusty and intimidated by all this, but we're just gonna figure it out, and yeah, we'll just roll with it. Let me move this camera out of the way. So I'll probably be referring to my notes a lot. These notes that I took from Simon Fuchs' tutorial. I made these notes, but they're just from his tutorial. You guys should go check it out. But yeah, we're modeling a Snes, a Super Nintendo controller. Let me see. I'm just trying to familiarize myself with all. Okay, cool. So this collection, I have the actual Snes controller in here. So that's all finished, and we're working on like the little end piece right here today. So we're gonna try to finish that up today. So on the last stream, I finished like the main shapes of this little end piece, and yeah, we're just gonna try detailing it today, try to get back in the Blender groove. But yeah, I use my work mostly, so I'm not really used to Blender that much yet, but we'll get there. Let me bring up my reference. So yeah, so today we're gonna start working on like these little details right here, and like the inside. I should probably start with this part, the little cylinders in here. Huh, wait, hold on. Is there like a little indent in here? Hold on, let me grab the actual controller. Yeah, kind of. There's kind of like an indent on the sides. It's more of like a cut. Yeah, that's why it's good to have the real life object so you could reference it with your own eyes. And there's also some holes on the side too, so try to work that in there. Like you can't see it in this photo, but there's like holes on each side of this too, on this back plate. So I'll make sure to get that in. And this is more of like a cut on the side, and it kind of lines up with the hole. But first, let's start off simple, and let's work on these little inner pieces first. Just to get back in the groove of things. Cool. Wait, I think I had like an image playing. Oh, there it goes. It just took a second to load. Alright, so we're gonna create a cylinder. And we'll keep it 32 for now. Scale it down. Rotate on the X 90 degrees. We're just gonna line it up. But let me see, maybe I could turn on wireframe. Yep, and I have like this center cut that I could use to kind of snap this. So let me check my snap settings by hitting Shift Alt S. No, not Shift Alt S. Control Alt S. And I want to be in vertex active point. And we're gonna move this up in the Z and snap it to this point right here, which should be on the middle line. Then we're gonna scale this down. And we're gonna try to roughly match the reference. Let's move this on the X. Go Shift D, G, X1. No, that's too much. Let's do Shift D, G, X 0.5. Nope. I'm just gonna move it by hand. Shift D, GX. Wait, hold on. I think I made a bunch of copies. There we go. Let me just push this out first. So, what's the global X-ray shortcut again? Shift Z. So I'll use a global X-ray for now. Let's move this on the Y. Just gonna have this be almost flush but not quite. We're gonna grab these back verts, GY, and snap them to the back. Shift Z to get out of X-ray. And that looks alright. I want to make sure I'm getting the spacing down. So we're gonna do Shift D, G, X, and you can see the little number on top. We're gonna do 0.055. And then Shift D again, GX 0.055. So now these are all, they're evenly spaced, but it's clipping this part, so they might be a little too big. Maybe I could just move them like that, but that doesn't quite match our reference, so I'm gonna scale them down. And I'm gonna redo this. Shift D, G, X, and let's do 0.08. No. GX 0.06. Shift D. So that's feeling better to me. If I go and scale, I wonder if there's a way to scale not in like the medium point, but the individual origins. Maybe if I change this to local. No. Let's see. Normal. Or yeah, you know what? I could. Let me see. How do you combine again? Combine, Control J. Control J to join. Alt S to center the active point. Shift Z. I'm gonna go into face mode. Box select all these center ones. I'm gonna get out of X-ray mode, and I think it's Alt S. Is it Alt S? Or Control S? Shift S? Alt? Control Alt? Ooh. Something with S. Oh, there we go. Shift Alt S. And with that, I could move it along its normal. So Shift Alt S. Could scale that down a bit. But you know what? I don't think I'm gonna do that. Let's separate these by loose parts. Let's just kind of eyeball it. So that should be good. That looks good to me. And this part has 4, so we could grab these. Shift D, G on the X. We're just gonna try to line these up. Shift D, G, X. This one should be like right here. So it doesn't have to be perfect. But yeah, that looks pretty good to me. Cool, so I'm gonna grab all of these and I'm gonna do Shift J, Control J. And then I'll go to face mode. Well, first of all, I'm gonna apply all of the transforms. So that way when I bevel, there won't be any weirdness. Gonna bevel it to about right there. And I think I'll go that much. Maybe a little bit more. Yeah, that looks good to me. And then we could grab these center faces and extrude them back. You can't really see how far back they go, but I think they go pretty deep in there. So I'll go into X-ray mode. And then G, Y, and push these all the way back here. Shift C. And that's looking pretty solid. Let me turn off the wireframe. I'm gonna hit this with smooth and then hit it with the auto smooth. Cool. So there's that detail right there. Looking sick. Also last time I remember I have to connect this back part to this plate because the bevel shader was like beveling this edge where these two should just be connected as one piece. But let's put on let's do a bevel small on this one, and let's check out how that's looking. Cool. Yeah, so that's looking pretty good. But you guys can see what I mean with this back part. Well, let me look at my real life reference. I have the controller right here with me. So yeah, like this back part, it's not supposed to like bevel in like that, and that's just like an artifact of the bevel shader is beveling this when it shouldn't be. That shouldn't be happening. So what I could do is I could merge this part to the back plate. Or I could grab like a strip of this bottom part and put like a bevel small on it, so it doesn't bevel this back part as aggressively. So I think I'll try that. I don't think, yeah, like this back plate is not even touching this, so it's kind of hard to tell in 3D sometimes if like things are touching or not, so just good to make sure. Yeah, like this is way off actually. I'm gonna turn on wireframe with, oh, never mind. I'm gonna do G, I think it's Y, yeah. Oh, it didn't grab the whole loop. So yeah, we wanna grab this whole back part. Like so. Let's test it to see if it's working. There still seems to be, oh right, because these are faces back here, so we gotta make sure we get these two. And now we should be able to move this, and we hold control, we could snap it to that back plate, and that should all be good now. And I think I'm gonna grab these back faces right here, because I could see there's some like Z buffering there, and that's when two faces are like on the same position, they kind of fight each other. So that gives you like shading artifacts, so you generally want to avoid that. So let's move these up a little, and now that should be good. But now you can see like these inner like cylinders, they're not really touching the back wall. It's not really a big deal, the camera doesn't really see that far, but just for my OCD, we're gonna push these back. So we go GY, snap them to that back wall, and that should be clean and ready to go now. So yeah, this back part is snapped to this back plate, so, and it's kind of in there too, so maybe we won't see that like bevel here anymore, so we'll try that out. Let me unhide everything, which is Control Shift H, Alt H, Alt H. Okay, so I think we have a problem here. Yeah, I'm seeing like Z buffering. Huh. Let me just grab everything and go I think it's F4. No. I know there's like a cleanup command. Cleanup, machine cleanup, Alt 4. Just do Alt 4 and that should have cleaned up any weirdness that was going on. So yeah, something happened there where I think my mesh duplicated itself, so that's why you saw a bunch of Z buffering. But I just ran the machine cleanup and I think it fixed it because I don't see any more Z buffering. So that's a handy little add-on. Cool, so let's go into rendered view and see if this back part looks good. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I think we don't, because you'll see that you can see like the wireframe on this, and that's not actually the mesh wireframe. I mean it is, but it's like a cutter, because this back part is doing a union boolean with this part. So we want to turn that off in the viewport so we don't see that in the render, and then we could just see this in the rendered view and see if this looks better or not. So yeah, I could already tell that's not really working out back here. So we'll go into solid, Shift H. We're gonna isolate this part because we just want to work with this back part. Go Control R. We're gonna add an edge loop right here. Go like this. Alt F. Yeah, we could do Alt F, and then hit this with a Control Plus. Yep, that grows the selection, and with that we could add a bevel small. And now we could Alt H to bring everything back, and we can see how that looks. Huh. It's still looking a little weird to me. So let me just isolate this part. And let's see this rendered. So you could actually see where like this part has a bevel small material and then this has a bevel medium. So there's a difference in the shaders right there in the materials that I have to fix, because you shouldn't be able to tell them apart like that. The only thing different that they should have is like different bevel strengths. Okay, Streamlabs was just telling me that I was dropping some frames. It's probably because you have to like render to see the bevel shader. It'll be cool to have like a real-time bevel shader. That'll be sick. But yeah, everything looks pretty good. I think it's only when you hit it, when you see it from like this sharp angle, that it starts looking weird. Like if I get this part and this part, and then Shift H, and then look at that in rendered mode. Yeah, like that looks good to me. Let's bring everything back. Yeah, I think it's just a weird shadow thing that's going on here. Cause this bottom part is like dark. And then this part is like light right next to it. So I think that's just a rendering thing. But it bugs me. Like this is casting shadow on this object, but yeah, it's something with the lighting that looks weird to me. Alright, we'll come back to that if we have to. For now, it looks fine to me. We shouldn't spend any more time on that. So we got that working, so let's do a control save. We're gonna do save as. We're gonna start a new one. Snes controller 7. And we'll do troubleshooting at the end. Right now, let's just focus on the details. So now I wanna work on this part right here. I think both sides have it. I should have taken more reference pictures. Yeah, both sides are exactly the same. So that's cool. I could maybe hit that with a mirror modifier. So for this shape down here, I'm gonna start with the cylinder. And let's do 42. Let's go top view, vertex. I think it's J. Yep, J to connect them. Shift Z. Hit that with the J. Cool. Now we could grab this middle edge. We could do a bevel. And we just want to slightly bevel this. Go top view, box select, and let's grab this side. We actually want to grab the vertexes only with box select, and let's move that on the X. And we want it to have this kind of shape, so this looks too short. So let's move that further. Something like that should be fine. Cool. Let's grab these faces. Let's change our snap settings to be increment with absolute grid on, GZ, and snap that to that grid. Let's grab these parts and then go to my quick favorites, select boundary, and we can bevel this, and we want this to be quite a big bevel. Something like that. Hit this with the smooth, auto smooth. That should be ready to go. So we're gonna hit Alt S to center the active point. Start scaling this down. Go into top view, and let's recenter this. I think I could press Alt G, and that should snap it back to, well, Alt G zeroes out the transforms that are in here. So Alt G zeroes out the location, and then I think Alt R zeroes out the rotation, and Alt S I already have bind to something else, so it doesn't work, but you can always go into here and reset all to default values. Let's go into wireframe for now. Let's scale this down. GY. Let's look at our reference here. Oops. Kind of tricky working with the orthographic view sometimes. So let's see here. All right, so this side is up. Let's move this up. About right there, and we're just gonna stick it in there. And now I could actually just grab these two objects and set these to wire. Oh, you can't do multiple objects at once. That's good to know. Huh, could I not set this object to be wire? There it goes. So now I could reference my image here. Oh, I'm gonna move this on the Y, and it looks like I got pretty close, but I didn't quite get it. So I'm gonna move this on the X so it matches the left side, and then I'm gonna go into edge mode, and I'm gonna add this right here. Change my snap settings to vertex, go G, X, and snap it to the center of my model. So now if I change these back to solid and turn on my wireframe, oh, you'll see that I centered this line with the middle of the connector mesh, because now I want to mirror this side over to this side, and now it should be exactly even on both sides. Cool. And let's just make sure that it matches the reference. Yep, that's close enough, because remember that our reference isn't perfect. It's not a perfect orthographic shot. It just shot on my iPhone, so there's gonna be some tilt and and stuff, so I just focus mostly on matching this left side and not really worrying about the right side being perfect. Change these to solid, and let's turn off wireframe. Cool. Now I'm gonna reference that part in real life again, just to see how much it comes out of the thing. So I'm gonna lower this a little bit actually to around right there. So that should be good to go. And I'll hit this with the bevel mid just so it matches the material. And then we could check out how it looks. Cool. Yeah, so that's looking pretty good. I have to remember to come back and edit this material back here. I think the bevel's too big for this. I think this bottom part's gonna be like a bevel small. Go Z, solid. Cool. I'm not gonna worry about mirroring this side over yet. I'll do the mirroring once I have everything on here. So next we're gonna start working on the indent of the Nintendo logo. So let's just turn these into wired for now. And that's not supposed to be there, so goodbye, sir. Shift A, let's make a cylinder. 42 should be fine. Scale these down. And again, I'm gonna reference this left side that I've been mostly referencing. GX. So that looks pretty good. Maybe scale it up a little bit more. And that should be good to go. I'm gonna do this a little different this time. So we're gonna grab this, do J, grab these, do J. But this time I'm gonna still bevel this. So do a small bevel there. But I'm gonna delete these faces. Then I'm gonna grab these edges. Move on the X and match it up to the center line of my model. Excuse me. So that should be good. And I think if I go into edit mode and select this edge and press Alt S, that moves the active point to that vertex I selected. And now if I go into edit mode and hit Alt X, I can mirror to this side. And that's a destructive, that that mirror is a destructive mirror, so that's not a modifier. It's only a modifier when you're in object mode. So this is our piece right here. I'm gonna move that up. GZ. And let's see. We could open it up a little bit and then just let the bevel shader take care of the rest. So I'm gonna grab these faces, just bring these down a little bit, and bring this up, change this to solid, and hit this with a smooth, auto smooth. So now the active point is kind of off, so I'll hit that with the Alt S. Cool. I'm gonna do apply all just in case. And then I think it's select the cutter and then the parent. Yeah. And then I did a difference boolean there. And now I'm gonna scale up these faces a little bit more, so there's kind of an edge, like a ramp down. Let's see. Select these bottom faces. GZ. I'm gonna push those down a little bit more. You can see that it's kind of breaking up this part, so let's bring that back a little. There we go, that's what I wanted. That might be too much of a ramp, so I'm gonna bring that in some. Cool. That looks good to me. Let's hide this cutter for now and change this to be wire, and let's see how it lines up. So you can see more of the ramp on this, on like the sides and like on the round parts than the sides. So I want to scale them more on like the y-axis. So I'm actually gonna, let's unhide the cutter. And we're gonna scale the top faces on the Y, so we get more of an even ramp around the mesh. And that should be good. So now there's more of an even like ramp down, which is what I was looking for, just to exaggerate the shape a little bit more. And if I bake, it'll be easier for the bake to pick this up. Cool, so let's see how this is looking in the render. Z rendered. Yeah, you know what? Hmm. I might have to hit this with the bevel small, because the bevel does seem to be like eating these edges away too much. But I think the overall shape is good. So I could do that after I apply all my booleans and symmetrize everything. That's more when I go into like the material pass. But yeah, the model itself is solid. Then we'll have the Nintendo logo there. We could cut out these pieces right now, actually. So let's take a closer look at these. It looks like it goes like one down, and then half of it goes a little bit deeper down. Ooh, where's my back plate? There we go. So yeah, this should be simple enough. Just make a cube, scale this down, GZ, set this to wire, grab this one, and we'll also set this one to a wire, go G. Well, actually, let's do Alt X, go like that, G. So now it's mirrored, and we could see how both sides look at the same time. So you could just focus on one side, and the other side's gonna be finished already. Let's go to edge mode. Insert a edge loop in the middle, and this bottom part is gonna extrude down a little further, and that should be our cutter piece right there. We don't have to bevel or anything, because we're gonna let the bevel shader handle that. We'll go G, Z, and bring that down to like right there. And then we'll do a cut. And that looks pretty good already. Yeah, that looks solid. Let me look at the real life thing. Yeah, that's good. So these we could turn off for now, and let's see how it looks. Yeah, no, these look really good. Yeah, the bevel is also a little too strong for these, but again, we'll fix that up in the material pass. But yeah, that's looking really good. And then we'll get the Nintendo logo on here, and I think that's all the detailing there is. And then we could get these cuts in here. Oh right, and then there's like holes on the back plate. So there's these cuts up here, and then there's 2 cuts back here you can't see. Cool. So I'll work on the back plate for, we'll save the Nintendo text for last. We'll work on the back plate right now. So it looks like this just cuts from the top part. It doesn't cut into the little back plate. And I think, yeah, that's for the bottom and the top. So we don't have to worry about cutting through both objects. And they are symmetrical too, so that's cool. So we'll create a cube. Well, actually, nah, yeah, we'll create a cube. GZ. Oh, it's a giant cube. Scale this down. Control Alt X. You want to mirror this side over. So grab this. GY. Let's bring that like right there. GZ. Want to cut it like halfway through. Let's go a little lower. And then I'll actually go into object mode. Have all the faces selected. And I'll go Shift D. And I'll move those on the Z. And we'll put the bottom cuts too, might as well. Go to object mode. Select this back part, Control minus, and boom. Easy peasy. Yeah, we might have to move them back a little bit. So GY. Just get some depth in there. Yeah. Maybe you could scale it on the Y. Yeah, cool. That's sick. Hide that. And now we have those little cuts right there. And let's see how that looks. Yeah, that's looking really good. Alright, cool. It looks like all that there's left to model is the Nintendo text. So I'm gonna find a Nintendo logo on Google Images. So like this like text right here, I'm gonna try to find that on Google Images. on my other monitor. Nintendo logo. I'm gonna try to find one that matches. Cool, I'll get this one. File, save as, save it on my desktop for now. And then I'm gonna switch the scene to be right back for now. Just because I'm gonna open up Photoshop and I don't want to show any of my work stuff and get in trouble, so I'm opening Photoshop right now. Now I'm gonna bring in the Nintendo logo and we'll go from there. So I'm opening up Photoshop. Let's do create new. And I'll just do 1920 by 1080 for now. And I'll bring in the Nintendo logo, and now I could share my scene. So let's center this like that. Hit the check mark. I don't need these guides. And then I could actually, let me see. Show you. Let's do sorry, it's like the layout's a little different since I've upgraded my Photoshop. Let's go layer or filter. Adjustments, there we go. And change the contrast. Hit OK. Rasterize layer. Control. So I want to merge these two. I think it's Control E. And then I think I just magic wand tooled it. Where's that at? Magic wand. Want this. New guides from shape. I'm trying to remember how I did my 3D stuff in here. New guides from shape. Let me see. Wait, 3D. New 3D extrusion from current selection. Let's try this. Whoa, okay. That's sick. So now this is 3D geometry. So you just have to have it selected. And then you could just go up here and then do 3D extrusion from selected layer. Cool. So now we have this. It doesn't have to be perfect because it's a small detail. And we could go to, let's see what other options it have. Extrusion. Export 3D layer. And we want to export this as an OBJ. Okay, so we're gonna export this. I'll export it to the desktop. And we're gonna call this Nintendo text. So we generated that 3D object mesh in Photoshop, so that's pretty cool. Now we could switch back to Blender, and then we could just, when we hit Control S, that brings the Save, Open, and Append menu. If you have this plugin, which I think it's Machine Tools, and then you could go up here and do OBJ import. And I'm looking on my desktop, and we want the Nintendo text OBJ import. Whoa. So let's click F to focus on it. It might be really big right now, so let's scale it down. Hit F. Yep, scale it down. Hit F. Interesting. So it looks like it actually added that Photoshop layer as a texture to the model. But we're not gonna need that, so we could just do Shift Q, and it brought in all these other weird ones that we don't need, so we'll delete those after. And we'll give this a bevel small. So bring that down. Let me change my clipping to medium. Cool. So the rotation's kind of off. That's okay. I think that's because I rotated it in Photoshop, so it messed up the rotation. You could just fix it. That looks alright to me. And then we could rotate on the X 90 degrees, or let's do -90. Let's go G, Y, move it in the Y, bring that down. Let's select this mesh and turn it into wired. Oh, okay, there we go. Let's select this and scale it down so it matches the right side more than the left side more than the right, because that's what I've been mostly referencing. So that looks good to me right there. Now we could turn this back to solid. Scale this on the Z. And do a G, Z. Bring it down to right there. And let me look at the actual object again. Yeah, it doesn't look like it goes above this inset here. It's about the same. So something like this should be fine. Or if we want to be extra picky, we could go into vertex and set the active point to be right there. And make sure we're in vertex snapping and move it on the X and snap it to that vert. And now it should be flush with the top part, but I actually want to move it down a little bit more. Cool. So this little locator thing, empty object thing, I think that's from when I mirror stuff. That's just like left behind for some reason, so I just delete them. Oh. Huh, that's actually breaking my symmetry. Interesting. Okay, I'll just hide it for now. Cool. So now if we don't need this anymore. If we go into rendered view, that looks pretty nice. Let's bring some lights closer so we can get a better look at this. And again, we do have to change some of the bevels so they work better, but I'm just seeing how the text looks right now. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Maybe it's too high up. So we could bring that down some more. Like that. Cool. And that's kind of all of the detail modeling I'm gonna do. So let's save this file and then we're gonna do a save as, and we're gonna do 8 because now we're gonna start applying some of these live booleans we have here, so I can mirror it over to the back side and then fixing up some of the bevels. So let's turn on our cutters that we have active right now. And the first one that we're gonna, well, we could actually select this object and then just click into this panel here and click Control A. I think, yeah, hover over the object, hit Control A, and that applies the boolean. So I think now if I delete the cutter, yeah, it's permanent, so it's not live anymore, so I don't need these cutters anymore because it's actually part of the mesh now. So if I go into edit mode, it's like cut in there. So for this mesh, let's see. So it looks like the active point is on the center, which is a good thing because now I could do Alt X, we want to mirror this side over to the bottom side. So if I click this, oof, that's not what I wanted. So we're gonna hit X on this, and we're actually gonna go into edit mode, and we're gonna try doing a destructive mirror like that. And that was actually the opposite way I wanted to go. There we go. Huh, okay, I think it's the machine tools one that leaves this mirror thing. So we don't need those. Could just delete them. Now this side has that detail that we modeled on the top. And then I could go, let's turn on wireframe mode, because I want to hit Shift Alt S, Control Alt S, Shift Alt S, Shift Control S, no, Alt Shift S, Shift S, Alt S. Huh. It's one of the S's. Alt S is quick origin. So maybe only in edit mode. Control Shift button. No. Huh. Okay, whatever. Let me see. I'm trying to move this active point to the center here. Let me look something up. Pivot. I know there's a way. So that Alt S is a quick origin. That's not what I'm looking for. Shift Alt S. This is the one I'm looking for. And it should work in object mode. I swear I've tried that. Shift Alt S. Shift Alt S. I'm doing it. Shift Alt S. Hello. Shift Alt S. Huh. Okay. Oh. Why could I do it here but not here? Do Control A, apply off. Shift Alt S. Okay. It was a weird thing with the transforms. Once I applied everything, it works. So cool. Now we want to move this. I could just center it to this center line right here, and then hit Shift Alt S again. And then I could go into edit mode, do Alt X, and we want to mirror down. That's not quite right. You know what? I'm probably overcomplicating this. I should just trying to do it like the fancy way. But I could just duplicate it down. then I could do SX -1, and that should be good to go now. Huh, the rotation does seem kind of messed up. Let's rotate Y. Hold shift so it's more sensitive. And that looks better to me. It doesn't have to be perfect. So now both sides should be symmetrical. And we can start fixing up some of these bevels. Cool. Okay, so the big one I want to fix is, well, I think this back part is the biggest problem. But first I want to make sure, I think it's Control-Shift-Z or Control-Alt-Z. Yeah, Control-Alt-Z, Node Editor, Shader. So I want to make sure the principal shader is exactly the same, and the only difference is this is the bevel node. So go here, and then let's see, bevel small. I'll paste the one from the other one. I'll delete this and put this into the normal. And so they should be exactly the same except for the bevel in theory. Join areas. Boom. Okay. Cool, so this inset area I think should use a bevel small. So we're gonna go in here, gonna select these faces, Control or what? Control plus, Shift Q, and add a bevel small. And let's see how that looks. Okay. Yeah, that looks a lot cleaner now to me. Yeah, that looks clean. The words do look a little weird. I think because the rotation's kind of off, so go R, Y. Well, first we gotta center that rotation point. R, Y, hold shift to make it more sensitive. We want kind of an even thickness. That looks fine to me. Cool, yeah, that looks good. Yeah, maybe I could have like a smaller bevel shader for the letters, because I think even with the bevel small, the bevel's too strong. So I'll probably make a new shader for that. I'll go Shift Q, add new, and I'll call this M bevel extra small, and hit OK. So now since we're in object level, I'm seeing the shader for this object, and we're in M bevel extra small. I think I could still, paste in the old principal node, plug that into surface, get rid of the default one, and could bring in a bevel node, and we could plug this into the normal and see how it looks rendered. So I think we want 16 samples. It looks dark. Maybe it's just like too beveled. There we go. Yeah, now that looks too sharp to me. Let's go to 4. There we go. Okay. Let's try pushing it to 5. Yeah, I like 5. I think maybe it's just sticking out too much. But 0.005 looks nice. Maybe I could push it back a little more. 0.45. So this would be our extra small bevel. GZ. We don't want it to be too thick, so see how that looks. Yeah, that's looking better. Maybe that's too much, because sometimes you do want to exaggerate it. So if I bake, you'll be able to pick it up. Cool. Yeah, that looks good now. So let me see, join areas. Yeah, that looks sick. We could try a small bevel on these square areas, and if it's still too much, we could put an extra small on there. So let's turn this to solid. Select these faces. We might have to add like a loop around here, but we'll see how this looks. Do Shift Q, assign bevel small. So yeah, my stream might be lagging because I'm rendering, but hopefully it's not too bad. Oh, we want to be in object mode. So yeah, that looks better. I think I am gonna hit it with the extra small though. And I think I do have to go in here and add kind of a like a loop around here. Right. Cool. Okay. So I'm not really too worried about end guns. So we could go like this, grow our selection, Shift Q, and let's do a bevel extra small. And let's see how that's looking. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's perfect. I am seeing some artifacting. That might be from the N-Gons. Yeah, let's see. Let me make sure that my shaders are all consistent. So this is extra small. .5 in the specular and stuff. Mid 0.5 IOR 1.4. Okay. Mid. Yeah, they look the same. See, small. Wait, clear coat roughness is different on bevel small. Oh wait, no, it's the same. $16, and 16. Okay, so those are all the same. So yeah, I think maybe it's just something to do with the artifacts, so, or the N-Gons, which shouldn't be too much of a problem. Alright, let's just try that. Huh. It doesn't look like the bevel extra small anymore. Wonder if I changed it in accident. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. That looks better. Yeah, there might be some small artifacting around here from the bevel shader, but that's alright. I can always paint that out. So over here, I'll do the same thing. Cool. Let's select these faces. Shift Q, extra small. Render. Yeah, that looks good. Cool. And let's fix up this stuff right here. This has been bothering me for a while. So this part, I'm gonna actually put a bevel small. And let's see if that looks better. Yeah, that's way better. Yep, that looks good. And let's just clean up this bottom side now. So I think this part I gave a bevel small. And then right here I added like this stuff. And I'm doing this again instead of mirroring because I don't know if the mirror mirrors over the materials. So I'm just doing it like this for now. And it's good modeling practice. Oh, the little cylinder part right here, I forgot a mirror. Okay. Huh. Also, I love that you could connect through edges. In Maya, you can't do that. Which I don't know why, but you just can't. Maybe that was the issue with the bevel there. Cool. Okay. I forget if I added the bevel here or not. Shift Q, bevel small, or Control plus, Shift Q, bevel extra small, Control plus. Oh, forgot to add the the ring around here. Oh. Alt A left. Let's do a left again. Top. Bottom. Cool. Control plus. Shift Q, add a bevel extra small. And then for this one, it was extra small as well. Cool. Do a Shift D. So bring this one over here. This light so we can see what's going on. And let's go into rendered view. Yeah, that's looking clean. Cool. Okay, yeah, and then let's mirror over this part right here. And before I do that, I do want to clean up this. Dude, it's so handy that you could connect through edges. Cool. And then I'm gonna reapply the material just in case it broke. Bevel extra small. Bevel extra small. Just do a render, and let me zoom in on this. Yeah, that's looking clean. It looks like some of the artifact is gone. You could still see some of that edge, but it looks cleaner in my opinion. Cool. And now this, we wanna so apply that modifier. We do apply all for now. Shift Alt A, and let's move this to the center of this piece. Gonna do Alt X from this side. Huh, okay, that's not what we want. I'll go into object mode. Go Alt X, wrong side, Alt X, this side down here. So now it's on the bottom as well. So let's see how that's looking. Yeah, that looks sick. You know what? I actually forgot these side cuts, and there's some holes on this side too. So let's just do that real quick. I like this lighting on the bottom side more than this top side. So let's just work on this. So let's see the side cuts right here. All right, cool. Yeah, they're like little weird side cuts. Cool. Let's go side view. I could, cool. Center it right there. Something like that. I'm just eyeballing it. Go into vertex mode. box select. And let's move this down on the Y. Let's go all the way. And for this part, wanna, whoa, okay. So that's why you want to box select. GY, bring that down to like right here. And now I just want these two front verts, and I'll bring that down a little bit more to kind of get a ramp. GX, something like that. Maybe that ramps too much. GY, let's go like that. Alt X, put it on that side as well. So this, Control minus. Boom, we have our side cuts. Nope, that's not what I meant to do. I want to select the cutter piece. GY, let's bring that down. Or you know what? I want to bring that up. Yeah. And bring the inner edge down. Like that. Object, I'm gonna scale on the Z. Boom. You know what? I think I scaled it too much on the Z. I want something like that. Let's go here. I'm gonna actually apply this. And let's apply this modifier. Well, not yet. Well, yeah, I could right now. So that's applied. Hit Q. Operations. I'm looking for like a reset. There's like a hard ops reset or something like that, because right now it's like a hard ops object, and I want this to be a regular object. Here we go, mesh tools, hard ops reset. So now that's a regular mesh. So you'll see that this isn't highlighted anymore. And now I could select this and then cut that piece out. From there, go to vert mode, box select. Go GY. And you know what? We'll Shift Z. Grab these faces right here. Go GX. Go like that. So same deal for this side. GX. push that back a little. Cool. And now we could apply this material as well. And we could get rid of this cutter. And that should be ready to go, dude. Yeah. Looking good, looking good. Or you know what? I think the sides could use like a bevel small. Let me see. Bring this down like right here. Get a better look at that side. Yeah, the bevel's kind of eating this edge up. So I could hit this with a bevel small, maybe a bevel extra small. We'll see. Control plus. Go like this and like this. Control plus. Shift Q. Add. Let's do extra small just because I want that edge. Okay, cool. So that edge is coming back. Yeah, that looks better. The outside looks kind of weird, so I think I'm gonna have to add like a ring around. So let's shift H this for now. Go edge mode. Okay, we already got like a loop. Okay, cool. So we could just use this existing loop and go Shift Q, add an extra small. Shift Q, extra small. And that should be enough, I think. Ooh, okay. So let's hide this. See how that looks. Okay. I am seeing that kind of weird artifacting again. So yeah, and it doesn't look that much better. So I'm actually gonna undo that. I don't know if that if the artifacting is from like the actual bevel node or like maybe there's like a different roughness value or something. I don't know. Let's do bevel mid on the outside is what I think I had before. Just kind of see how it looks overall. Yeah, that's looking good. That's looking really good. Cool, I'm happy with that. Cool, so this end piece is all finished. So I would love to group all of this. I don't think there's a fast way to group in Blender, so I'm gonna just save really quick, and I'm gonna try adding. Could I add like an empty mesh? Like if I bring back this Snes controller, like is there a way to group these like in Maya instead of combining them or putting them into a collection? New collection. Area. Because I want to be able to group all of this without combining it. I might have to look that up really quick. How to group objects in Blender. Alright. How to group objects in Blender. Move to collection. Left click. Okay. The parent-child relationship. Okay. Okay, I think this is what I want. Control P. Alright, I'll try that. So I'll make this the parent. So I want this to be parented to this. Control P. Parent to object. Well, first of all, let's rename this to controller and part, right? So this is a parent to this. Control P, parent. Okay, I think I did it the opposite way. Wait, what? What did I name this? Huh? What is this thing? Oh, it was a weird mirror thing. Is that doing anything? No, I don't think that is affecting anything. Yeah, that's just some empty nodes. So this part right here, this is a controller and part. So this is a parent and this is a child. Control P, parent to object. Boom. Okay, I did it the wrong way again. So is it select the child first and then the parent? Control P. Yep, okay. So parent first, then child. Control P, object. Wait, no. It's child first and then parent. Control P, child first. Got it. Child first, then parent. Control P, object. Cool, cool. Yeah, that's what I want. Child, parent. What's this? Okay. So child, parent. What? Is it opposite in the hierarchy? So child and then the parent. Control P. Yeah, it's like the opposite in here. So I select the parent first and then the child. And then yeah, okay, cool. So the parent is first in the hierarchy. And what's this part? Cool. Yeah, that's what I wanted. I wanted them to all be grouped, but also separated. Controller end part. So if I scale, cool. It scales from the parent. Neat. So let's save that. And now we could do a Shift C. Move to collection. We're gonna move it to the Snes controller collection. Whoa. Okay. So that just moves the parent object. It doesn't move all of the objects to the Snes controller collection. But could I just drag this into here? Where'd it go? Okay, it's there. Is it? Okay. So it's in here. I think it got renamed. Huh? I'm so confused now. Controller end part. Oh, it's not even open. I'm dumb. I was like, what's going on? Where is it? So, Nintendo text. That is weird. So I have the end part here. And I can move it. But if I turn off because these objects are part of this. Huh. So if I select these parts, because they already exist here, so I think that's just an instance of them. So what I need to do is I need to remove them from master collection. Okay, maybe not. Okay, you know what? This is the main part. That's what matters. If I turn this off, they're still there. So I think for, yeah, look, and you can see that this is connected to the master. So I think I have to move them one by one to the SNES controller collection. Now if I bring it back, this is here. Okay, okay. So this is the end part. This is my end part, and I still have to organize the actual controller itself. We don't need the image planes for now. So move this into place. G. Boom. What's going on? There we go. GZ. GZ. Boom. Perfect fit. Hell yeah. GX. Sick, dude. Bring this light over here. Let's bring another light right there. So this light we could put up here. And then we could have, this could be just like a fill light. Oh. Cool. So yeah, there's the Super Nintendo controller. Cool. So that was the detailing. There we go, dude. That's sick. Cool, I'm happy with that. Let's bring this light a little bit closer. I wanna get some of those cylinders in there. Yeah, okay, cool. That's looking pretty good. So yeah, obviously I would have to texture this still. So I would have to, if I want this to be game ready, I would have to make a low poly version and then bake the bevel shader onto the low poly and then bring that into Substance Painter or Designer and just start texturing it. But yeah, I think as far as the model goes, it's pretty much finished at this point. Go to solid. Cool. Cool. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Let me check my proportions, alright? So the end piece is a little smaller than, yeah, that looks right to me. That looks good. Cool, so there's a Super Nintendo controller. I might model the actual Super Nintendo next. This was like my first real like complex, I guess, model I've made in Blender. So yeah, I learned a lot. I used a lot of what I learned from Simon Fuchs tutorial. If you guys want to go check that out, using a lot of like the add-ons and stuff from there. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed, make sure to subscribe. And yeah, have a good night, guys.